Okay, so last time we picked up with the party, waiting for a debriefing to tell their side of what happened in transporting the prisoner from Hupperduke through to Rexentrum. They were first introduced to Oliver Schreiber, someone who works closely with King Dwindle, to Marshal Ishmara of the Righteous Brand, and Master Dulan Tversky of the Cerberus Assembly. Each in turn took a chance to ask questions and make comments to the group. At the end of the kind of questioning period, as they were about to leave, Myrtle presented her signet ring that she had received, asking if any of them knew anything about what it meant, who it might have belonged to, some origins on the ring. Oliver Schreiber didn't know anything about it, but offered to look into it and have someone track down some information about it for her if she came to his office the next day. Marshal Ishmara left, being very busy after the attack that had happened recently on Rexentrum. And then Master Tversky closed the door and told a story about her daughter and what happened that led to her granddaughter being raised by family in the city of Hupperduke. That granddaughter being Myrtle. Overwhelmed with emotion, Myrtle and Sven, who also learned that his father had been an adventurer alongside Myrtle's parents and possibly some others. They left, leaving Grimdor to get some more information from the gnome wizard, and actually getting a potential job to track down the missing Catherine Tversky. After that, the part of the group went to run off their frustrations, and the other half went to possibly drink off their frustrations at the cottage that they were being put up in by the crown. Zilch went back to the archive, the Cobalt Soul Archive, where he met with the Superior Archivist Cathadoc and learned of a cultist activity of sort that had happened at the Chantry of Dawn, the large temple of Palor in Rexentrim. And he was asked by Cathadoc to do what he could to investigate, possibly go with this group of adventurers and see what he can find about this cultist activity. So we're going to pick things off following Elidyr and Sven. You guys, Sven, you've turned yourself into a war horse, and Elidyr, you've retrieved your horse Theo, and you're heading out the eastern gates of Rexentrim to go for a hard ride and maybe work off some of the tension of the evening. What would you like to do? You've just been let out the gate. As you were heading to the gate, the soldier, one of the archers that had been there when you came in the gate and fought the drow and the purple worm, he's just leaving at this point, but he recognizes you and informs the person taking over his shift that you guys are free to come and go throughout the gates. So the open world is yours. What would you like to do?
I head home. No, I'm kidding. It's a long way away.
Here you go.
An adventure.
I imagine we just like run off into like a forest nearby. I don't know. I'll probably just follow wherever Sven goes. Maybe. If not, I'm just riding off into like a nearby forest, maybe.
And open. Fields.
Sorry, what was that, Sven?
Just a.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
cutting
want
in
too
and out a
far.
little bit.
Just
You're cutting out quite a bit.
New mic who dis?
Mike Hood.
Tyler, I can hear
better?
your voice, but yeah, you were breaking up quite a bit and we couldn't get anything.
I had my.
No, you're still cutting out.
Disconnect from Discord and reconnect.
Yes.
And I'll also say that at this point it is getting to be nightfall. It's not completely black, but it will be very, very soon.
Knowing that, I changed the lights
Tyler,
in my
we still
basement.
can't hear you.
You changed the lights in your basement? I like that. That's perfect.
Those headphones are too
Sure,
good. He actually can't hear me yelling at him from like
Sure,
the next room. Okay, we can kind of hear you now.
Can you hear me?
It's a little bit crackly still.
For fuck's sake.
Are you
check
using
the,
a push to talk key, or are you using like just the voice activation?
It's activated.
Yeah, you might
turn-
have to lower the decibels.
Well, just
Also-
turn up. Yeah, basically make it so it's less sensitive, so it picks your voice up easier. So
Yeah.
and then it won't. It just takes a while
Yeah,
to mess
we
around
were
with the new
having
mic.
this issue until he turned his mic up.
How's this?
That sounds
seems
a little
good.
bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
a little
Sounds
quiet.
good.
Yeah.
But it does sound a lot better. You didn't break up. I can
Alright.
just turn you up in here.
Cool.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yep, that's fine. now.
Perfect. All right.
Okay.
All right. So what would you like to
And
do,
we're back.
Warhorse? Warhorse.
Warhorse. I am just going to just run through the fields until it gets darker, and then head back. I just needed to expel some energy and clear my mind a little bit.
Okay, so you go for a hard run, and
Yeah.
Elidyr and Theo run along with you, and you make your way back in and back over to the King's Bastion, where you left from, where there are some soldiers there that are able to escort you over towards the Shimmer Ward. They stop at the gate and are let through. They're able to go in through this nicer area, and you two are seeing this area for the first time. It's again almost like going through into another world where there's finely kept lawns. There are nice gardens, flowers, beautifully maintained homes, and yeah, it's just a much nicer area, and they start to lead you to Camaruth Cottage.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
As you guys are on your way over there, we can pick back up with the other part of the group, with Nug and Grimdor and Myrtle, who have just checked out their rooms. Grimdor helped save Myrtle from the endless sheets and billowing blankets on her gigantic
It's just
bed.
so fluffy.
And you guys are ready to, I think, head downstairs. Whatever you'd
Yeah,
like
I think
to
that
do.
was right.
I think so. I think that was the plan.
Yeah.
I know that Grimdor was like trying to do something at the end, and then Chris was like, "Nope, this is the end. Next
Oh
time."
no, I was.
I don't
was
remember
just
what it was, though.
I was coming up with wicked group names.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. It was blue something, blue bloods or something. Yeah.
Yeah, the universal
was-
groan. I think I
Yeah,
think that one was
It's a hard no.
something about the brown potato tossers or something like that.
It's also a hard no.
I mean, I'm up for whatever.
I like
Okay,
that,
so-
Myrtle.
If you guys would like to head downstairs, you can do that.
Yeah, let's go try this beer substance that everybody seems to be talking about. From what I've heard, people tend to tell me that when you're feeling really bad, you take a sip from it and it makes you feel better.
It definitely does, or it just kind of makes you forget your problems, really.
I mean, I'm not mad about that. Is it some sort of magical potion, or?
Kind of. Ooh, sounds like a tap.
Go down to the bar.
So you guys make your way down the stairs. They kind of curve down, and at the bottom of the stairs is the front desk, where you see the middle-aged human woman that had given you your keys. Her name was Deborah. She's a human woman, and she sees you coming down the stairs and says, how are your rooms?"
They're really fluffy. I almost died.
And she kind of does like a nervous sort of, yes, perhaps I forgot to say there is a room up there, a washroom where you all can wash up if you wanted to do that.
What do you say?
I wash and bathe regularly.
Yes, no, I
Do I smell funny? Why didn't you guys tell me I smell funny?
well, there's a smoke smell.
She is not wrong.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
smoke smell.
Remember the burning building? Yeah, we definitely still, and we're like literally, my face is still probably covered in soot and stuff.
Like, this has been a
My
big
armor.
day for you guys. At the start of this day, you guys woke up in the Pearlbow Respite. This is that same day.
Oh right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
No, we
true.
fought the giants.
That was a couple of
Yeah,
days
day
before,
before.
but
But like, yeah, you guys like fought the worms, right?
Yeah.
And then we saved people from a burning building, and then we had to sit in a room for 3 hours, and then
God, we are so efficient.
and fighting the
it's
worms
been a big
happened
day.
at the end of a full traveling day.
Yeah. We are a little bit exhausted.
So wait, what time is it right now?
It's probably like 9 o'clock right now.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
Like, because you guys got up early, specifically early to
Yeah,
leave from
so
Pearlbow Respite, and it was about an
Yeah.
8-hour ride. So you would have got into town in the early afternoon.
Okay, so we've like ridden into town, we fought some worms, we went into a burning building except for me because I would have blown up. And then we went and did the talkie thing, and then I had my heart ripped out of my chest. And now we're here.
So if and also if you wanted to change into your real clothes, I can have your traveling clothes cleaned for you.
I'm sorry, what?
What would be the cost of that?
Oh, don't worry about the cost. We'll take care of that. But if you wanted to go get washed up and change into your proper clothes, then your travel clothes can be cleaned for you, no problem.
I'm sorry, define proper clothes.
And she's kind of
Tr-
doesn't really know what to say.
I don't know, Grim, do you know what proper clothes are? These are like the only clothes I have. Do you have more than one pair of clothes?
Non-adventuring clothes. Also, subsequently, good name for our group.
Do you not just wear those under your armor? Is that not a oh no.
Yes. Deborah, is it?
wait, you guys wear clothes under your armor?
Deborah?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yes,
only,
yes,
only
Deborah.
like the amount of
We-
clothes that you need so that the armor doesn't change,
There-
right?
These and what they do a lot of talking, but we would appreciate that if it is free of charge, of course.
Oh yes, it's all taken care of by the crown. I can provide some robes if you need for the evening.
Would it be possible to
I-
send food to our rooms? We are weary travelers and quite hungry.
Yes, of course. and you see just off to the side there is a dining room off to the side. She says, yes, we have a very fine chef here, and we would be more than happy to send food up to your rooms. I think you'd be more comfortable up there.
As I suspected. Myrtle, follow me, little one. I mean, big one. I mean, follow. Myrtle, come with
fine.
me.
At this point, Myrtle is actually just like half undressed and just looks up and is like, "Is this not what we're supposed to be doing?" She wanted her clothes, right?
And she Deborah kind of oh my, and she puts her hand out and like kind of covers her eyes, but is looking just like doesn't quite know how to deal with this. Oh, if you wanted to go on up to your room, something can be brought to you there.
Okay, I
this
mean, like,
is
no skin off my back. That's fine. Do you have beer?
And as this is happening, a couple walks in the front door. They're a halfling couple, very finely dressed. They look like they're equivalent to someone who would be in like their 60s. The woman has very fine jewelry on, gold rings and bracelets and earrings. Her hair is done up very nicely, and the man's wearing a suit, and they come in and she kind of looks over at them and oh yes, of course your table is ready for you, and they take a look at the three of you and just kind of stop. and then
Hi
go
there.
on, and then
I
they
literally wave so happily. I just smile and wave like, "Hello."
They don't say anything to you guys, and they just kind of look at each other and then go on into the dining room, kind of giving a look to Deborah like, what is happening here? And they go on into the dining room.
I'm gonna try to shoo us along, and I'm going to give Nug the look of like they're clearly racist, like rolling my eyes, and let's get upstairs.
Are they wearing normal clothes?
I
don't know what
yes.
normal clothes are.
Yeah, they are, yes, normal clothes. Please, can we just go upstairs?
I mean, I guess. I'm
We
gonna
shall-
have to hop, though. I'm kind of halfway out of my uniform.
and as you're like doing that, Deborah just like kind of like she's gonna retire to the fainting couch kind of.
It's taking all my energy not to like grab her by the back of her neck, pick her up, and bring her upstairs. It's like having children.
So do you guys head back upstairs then?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted. Didn't we come down here for a beer?
Food can be provided, ma'am. We'll.
Did you just call me ma'am?
Are there any preference? We have a fine chef. I promise that you'll enjoy what we send for you.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Let's just go upstairs then.
Okay. So you guys go upstairs, and just as you're right near the top of the stairs, that's when Elidyr and Sven walk in the front door.
I trip up the stairs.
What? Did she not have any clothes on?
What? Don't ask.
I still have clothes on. They're just not all the way on. She's like, okay, so like this lady at the bar, Deborah, she wanted to wash her clothes for us, so I figured I'd just make it easy for her. So.
Okay.
You two must be part of the party that Mr. Schreiber sent over. She was like exasperated at this point.
I imagine me and Sven probably look even worse because we've been like outside running through the forest. So
Also,
there's like we're covered in soot, and then there's also like twigs and leaves stuck all over us.
Oh sure, covered in sweat. You've been riding hard. You've got like that sweat all over you. Yeah.
To be fair, this is usually how people react to me.
So she gets 2 more keys and gives them to you. And would your friends like to show you, or Charlie? And she calls Charlie over. And this dwarven teenager kind of comes over. Yeah.
This guy again.
We have 2 more guests with the same party. Would you care to show them up to their rooms?
You know what? It's okay. We can just show them.
Yeah, she can do it.
Well, it's
really not worth it.
No.
To change.
Charlie, she kind of takes him aside, like, Charlie, this is your job. You're supposed to do this. Oh, fine. He grabs the keys and right this way, sirs and madams. And stomps up the...
What's your tone, young lad?
It's really not. I tried to tip him, and he yelled at me.
Sven, I would like you to make a perception check.
Okay.
Actually, everybody can.
Okay.
Yay.
I got a 9.
9.
17.
Sven, you had a 17. Grimdor a 9. Elidyr a 14. And Nug a 16. So everyone aside from Grimdor and Myrtle, you guys are probably up at the very top of the stairs with Nug behind. So the ones down behind hear Charlie grumble. He repeats back what Sven just said, which of course I have now forgotten exactly what he said, but he does it in that he does it in that quiet mocking.
Is he holding anything metal?
He's holding the 2 door keys, and they are metal.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to cast heat metal on the door keys so they burn out of his hand.
Okay. I believe he needs to make a Constitution saving throw on that, right?
If it's on the metal, choose a manufactured object. He would take 2d8 fire damage, but I don't want him to take... I don't want to, like, make them scolding. I assume I could probably control the heat, right? I just want to, like, make them hot enough that he drops them. Like,
okay.
that it hurts him.
Okay, so
I'm not trying to fucking kill him.
Yeah, because that would absolutely 2d8 would kill this kid for sure. Yeah,
2d8 would kill him. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't want to do that.
Okay, so you cast heat metal on these keys, and he drops them.
Oh,
damn it! Oh, what? And Deborah says, Charlie, get out of here! I'm so sorry about this, and she walks around to walk up the stairs and goes to pick up the keys that he dropped.
They'll be cold at the touch.
Okay. So she picks them up, and I will take you up and show you your rooms. So she goes up. Go ahead.
He is very over exaggerated. I don't know what happened there, but thank you for taking me up to my room.
His grandmother is the owner. I'm the manager. His grandmother is the owner, so that's why he gets the job. She takes you upstairs and gives you guys 2 rooms. They're on the opposite side of the hall. So the first 3 were given on the north side, and they outlook the spires and the castle. Your 2 rooms are pretty much decorated the same. There's some slightly different art, some slightly different furniture in there, but they're mostly the same. And your little balconies look out over on a very nicely manicured garden that is right beside Cameron's cottage.
I'd like to poke Elidyr.
I imagine the poking startles me a bit. I'm like,
Elidyr.
Hey.
Be careful of the beds. They try to eat you.
Let's try to eat you?
I mean, I I jumped on it, and it seemed really poofy and fun, and then I couldn't get out.
Oh.
Would I be able to hear this?
It's a lot. Probably? I don't know. I'm not trying
If
to
you guys
hide
are all
it.
still out in the hall, probably
Yeah.
getting, yeah.
I would say, I remember a treasure chest tried that on me once.
I'd like look around at Grimdor like, what the fuck?
That's fucking terrifying.
I'm off to bathe.
Is there anything else in the room? Is like other than the bed?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bed, there's a desk with a chair, and there's a couple of drawers in the desk. There's a dresser where you could put clothing. A couple of the rooms have armoires. Yours actually doesn't. It's a little bit more open. But yeah, that's just you've got a nicer chair in the corner, like a desk chair, but then a nicer kind of not a chaise lounge, but a larger, more comfortable looking chair.
Oh wait, this room's all for me? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a single room. It's not terribly large, but it's large enough, and you each have your own room.
I'm probably just keeping a steady distance from the bed, but like kind of.
It's
I'm kind of
probably
amazed.
for the best.
Like looking at all the things. I probably start opening doors and stuff and just looking inside everything.
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check.
Oh, I was just doing it to be nosy.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my god.
Okay. Nothing. There's nothing really there. In fact, the complete absence of nothing takes you aback. There's no scuff marks. There's no dirt. There's no spider webs. It's a very, very clean and very well maintained room. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, whatever. I'm wondering, like, what everyone else is doing, and they just standing at the doorway watching me.
I mean, I think we're all in the hallway.
Yeah, you're all maybe trying to figure out.
I'm probably at the door just seeing what you do with the bed.
Like, I'm staying away from it.
It's probably for the best.
Zilch, you've finished up with Archivist Cathadoc. Are you coming over to the cottage, or are you staying at the Cobalt Archive where you have quarters?
Fuck. You know, I'll stay in the archives and do some studying for a bit. You know,
He's a smart boy.
Chris would like to go over and have fun with his friends. Still, just a indulging asshole will stay in his own quarters, and I guess I'll grab a new book or something like that for my own studies. Rest and recharge before I meet back up with them.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you want to study up on? You have the largest library in the continent for sure. You live in.
I will get back to you in a moment.
Okay.
I will start perusing, and I will
Start perusing.
Okay. Perfect. So back over at the cottage, you guys are free to do whatever you want. There is food being prepared for you, but you have 5 rooms available to you. And what would you like to do this evening?
I'm gonna.
Okay, so like.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna
It's
say I'm gonna bathe and put my clothes out outside the door to be dry cleaned. Question mark.
they have someone who would be able to wash them. Yes. So at the end of the hall there is a washroom. It's a large communal one with sectioned off areas. There's kind of closed off little rooms within the room where there's a bathtub. One of them would be large enough for you to get into, and then there's two smaller ones as well. And then there's also outside of that a number of wash basins and whatnot. It's magically lit in here as well. And yeah,
So,
you could easily.
I'm gonna do that wary of other people, and just trying to keep my distance from the uptight bourgeoisie.
Sure. Yeah. And so far you haven't come across anyone aside from your group up on the second floor here. On the lower floor, you did see there was the halfling couple that came in, and there were you can tell there were a few other people in the dining room, and the odd worker aside from Charlie. People, kitchen staff. You could see, but there isn't a whole lot of activity here. It's not happening hotspot or anything, but this is while it is an inn, it's also a fine dining place as well. And getting a little bit later, you can maybe hear a few more people come in the front door, and you imagine they might be heading into the dining room. But there are towels and there are some robes there. Interestingly, there are some robes that would fit you. Like bathrobe type things. Make an insight check.
Insight. Oh yeah.
I zoned out a little bit. Is the bathroom like a communal bathroom with like big baths, or like a
so
one
it's
at a
one
time?
it's one large bathroom, but then there are three kind of smaller stalls or closed off rooms within that, where there's a large bathtub and two where there are smaller ones. So you could go into there and have a bath if you wanted. With the 7, it seems weird to you that there would be a dragonborn sized bathrobe in a place like this where you haven't seen any other dragonborn.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to enjoy the luxury. I'm going to enjoy the downtime. I'm probably just going to generally keep to myself. But when I'm gone, go ahead.
You just hear a big giant splash as Myrtle jumps into like one of the other smaller
Perfect.
tubs.
So I was just about to say, but when I'm done, I'm going to check on Myrtle and make sure she's okay. So never mind.
So
we're good.
these rooms, they're beside each other. They're closed off, but they're not terribly thick walls in these rooms within the room, and you could definitely hear each other between them. You could have a conversation between the walls if you wanted.
You just hear her going, which is gargling water.
Oh, that's so gross. Gargling bath water.
I
Like
mean,
for the
like,
bath
if you
house?
just jumped into the light, it's
so
probably
gross.
a fresh bath.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, it's fresh water, and there is a source of water that you get the impression it's not connected to anything. You get the impression that it's enchanted, so that the availability of hot and cold water is just always there. It kind of comes from nowhere.
Yeah. Stop judging me on my bathing techniques.
And that's your drinking techniques.
First of all, it was gargling and spitting, not actually like swallowing.
Because that would be great. It's the gargling. Is anyone else taking advantage of the facilities there?
Yeah.
Yes, I will. I will be taking a bath and having my clothes cleaned, and then I will go down to the bar and have a number of drinks, I believe.
Okay, so
That's actually 100% the same thing I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yep.
As you guys are getting cleaned up, as you all kind of come out in and out of your rooms and down through the washroom, after a short time, a small tray is placed on like a little stand outside of each of your rooms with a platter over it, and each one has a bottle of wine and a bottle of ale and a bottle of water on them beside the tray.
One bottle?
How adamant did she, like, I feel like she seemed really, really adamant about the fact that we were dining downstairs.
Yes.
Are you asking me how adamant she was, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to,
I make a great impression.
Make an insight check.
Okay. 18.
18. Yeah, you got the impression that she didn't think you guys were the same kind of crowd as the rest of the people that were in there. And that maybe the other people, she was trying to keep you away from the other patrons of the
that sounds about right.
That's fair.
So yeah, I say there's a bottle of each. They're small, like individual serving size bottles. You don't each get a full bottle of wine, a full, they're individual serving size.
Everyone just hears Nug like yell, "Disappointed!"
But those are outside of your rooms. You're certainly welcome to go downstairs if that's what you want to do.
That's 100%.
Go downstairs.
Yes, I will be going down for.
But I'm also going downstairs still in a robe because I don't actually have any other clothes, and I feel like my clothes just got forcefully taken away from me.
Nug. Nug.
Boy.
Keep your eye on Myrtle, please. And I, wink and a nod him.
Nug just kind of looks at you all confused. Doesn't know what you mean.
It was a little bit creepy.
No, God. Just please, we are not all that welcome here. Be on your best behavior. And I'm going to go back to my room.
Feel this bathrobe, though. It's so floofy.
Myrtle.
Okay.
Myrtle.
What?
Would you like this wine?
I think I'm going to go. I feel like I have my head set on beer. I want to try. Maybe I'll try some wine later.
All right. I shall leave it here for you. Or anyway.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so Grimdor is going into his room. Myrtle is going downstairs in her bathrobe. Sven, you are...
Are there slippers too?
No, there are no slippers.
Oh.
You just hear Nug again yell, "Disappoint!" No, I'm just kidding.
Sven, what are you doing?
I am going to bathe and put on my, I guess, different set of clothes since my armor is getting cleaned. So I go downstairs and I want to sit at the bar and try and have a few drinks. While I'm down there, I'm going to just listen closely to the conversations going on around me. If I hear some different languages, I do speak 6 of them. So
okay.
So I don't know, Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Druidic, Elvish, and Quarry.
Good night.
I speak a bunch too. Just saying.
I just want to first figure out where everybody is and where everybody's going. Nug,
so
what are you doing?
That's where I'm going.
Yep. Okay,
I am
perfect.
at the bar drinking a lot of ale.
Okay, and how are you dressed?
That's a good question.
Oh no. Should have kept my armor.
Wait, was there a robe my size up there?
Yes, there was. The same size of one that fit Grimdor, I would assume would fit you as well.
I'm wearing that thing 'cause I do not have any other clothing.
Okay. Why don't you make an insight check on the large robe as well?
Insight check. There.
I feel like the one thing I'm learning from this is I should probably buy a second pair of clothes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
15. You've done a bit of traveling in the Empire, occasionally working with some upper class people, and there are some big fat rich guys.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, I guess, yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, I'll wear my fatty robe at the bar and just drink a lot of alcohol.
Okay. And then Elidyr, what are you doing?
Wait, are there slippers?
There are no slippers.
We already went over that.
I didn't know if there were like big, huge slippers. I don't know.
There are no slippers, no.
Oh, I'm disappointed. So I'm just wearing like my actual armor, like my like like my big steel boots.
Yep.
And the rope. So
Awesome.
just
Okay. And Elidyr?
Yeah, I'd probably like hang around and wait until everyone's done, and then like go into the bath on my own and just probably stay there for like hours.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we've got a few of you down there. As you go down, Deborah sees you and her eyes go wide, and she says, was everything fine with the food we sent up?
Yeah, no, everything was great. I
Yes,
feel like I'm
That was
good.
delicious.
Yes.
Save the meal for later. But
Excellent. I mean, it looks like you all have had such a long day. I'm sure it's getting late. I'm sure. Is there something else that we can send up?
Listen,
Well-
we've been through quite a long and ordeal-filled day. So right now I'm just going to come down here and I'm going to sit at the bar and I'm going to have some drinks. So if you'll excuse me, I will be moving past you.
Oh, yes, of course. Very well. There isn't a bar, but a table can be. It's quite busy tonight.
Table would be wonderful. Yes.
And we can find a table. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and an elven girl comes over, and she kind of get them table that one right over there. And she says, "Yes, ma'am," and says, "Right this way." And she takes you over to a large table. It's a 6-seater table, and it's off towards the far side, and you do notice that it's a little bit further away from where most of the other patrons are sitting. But it's not a terribly large room. You're not that far away, but it is kind of off in a corner a little bit.
I feel like this lady is really starting to hurt my feelings a little bit.
Okay, so you guys are at your seat, and you're welcome to order something. The elven girl that seated you asks you what you would like, and we'll bring it over.
What kind of beer do you have? Are there different kinds of beer? I've never had a beer before. Is there like a beginner's beer, or like something that, I've seen some people get really crazy on it, and I don't want to get that crazy. I just want to get a little bit crazy, but I've never had it before.
And she says, we are quite proud of our beer selection. We have a great number of imported beers if you're looking to try something a little bit off the beaten path. We've actually just gotten in something. It's called an IPA. It's an Asilra Pale Ale. It was originally developed by a brewery in Amman. It seems some travelers there.
You're just watching Myrtle's eyes glaze over.
And she goes on and tells you about how some travelers took it to Asilra, and their friends there loved it, and it was hard to get it over there, and they used extra hops to preserve it, and that's where the name came. And she tells you the story, and it just keeps going on and on and on. It has it's slightly bitter with some citrusy notes, some grapefruit and pineapple notes. It's quite lovely.
Okay, but like a beginner beer.
Very well, a beginner beer, and for everyone else.
I will just take some wine. Wine, do you have red wine?
Oh, of course, the finest wines from Pride's Call, of course.
Perfect. Just bring me the whole bottle, please.
Of course. And for you. She looks over at Nug.
I will have your largest ale.
Our
7 of them.
Largest ale.
Yes.
Okay. She kind of looking around. There's nobody to look at. She's looking to a higher authority, and there's nobody around. So she just goes off, and she comes back with 8 beers, all the same size. Gives one to Myrtle and 7 to you, and a bottle of red wine for Sven, and a glass, of course, for it. She pours out the first glass and offers it to you.
Just yes, thank you very much. You can just leave it here. It's fine.
And she sets down the bottle and goes off.
I take my first sip, and it's just an immediate spit take.
And so this would be, for reference, this would be like the equivalent of like a light lager that she got you.
Yeah, that was pretty. I was thinking like, the equivalent of like a Bud Light or something that's just like completely.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, not anything respectable as far as the beer goes.
Nug, you would probably know. You got the same thing. She gave you the same beer, and it's quite crisp. It's a really nice light lager. It's high quality, but
it's Molson
very
dwindling.
plain.
I stole that from the chat,
People
just
put
for the
this
record.
in their mouths and they swallow it.
I've already drank like 3 of them by the time she's done that.
I mean, I take another sip.
It grows on you.
I made her bring it to me, so I guess I have to finish it.
That's how we all got started.
Yeah, legitimately. Only my first sip of beer was when I was no older than 2 or 3, and I thought my dad was drinking apple juice and took a huge swig of it. I still remember that to this day.
Why doesn't everyone make a perception check?
Oh, I need to find like a freaking flat surface.
Not me, because
to do
I'm
this
not
on.
there, right?
Yeah, just the three that are down.
I got
down
it.
the dining room.
3 drunkards.
19 plus 1,
16.
so I got a 20.
Man, I'm rolling decent tonight.
A 22, Sven even a 16.
Oh, crit!
Nug notices it first, but then as you're looking, the other two kind of catch that you're looking over, and they look around as well. The halfling couple, the woman is looking over at you guys and kind of leaning in and whispering to what looks to be her husband, and he looks over at you guys as well.
Hi
I will
there.
mind link with him
Okay.
and say, hello, it is very rude to stare and what looks like talk about somebody behind their back. Is there something you'd like to come over and say to us?
And his eyes go wide, and he leans in and whispers something to his wife, and they just like snap back, like eyes right down at their plates, and just keep eating, just staring each directly at their plates, not saying anything.
And while I'm not hearing him mind link the entire time, I'm like, hi there, I'm Myrtle. What's your guys' names? I saw you earlier. I was told that your clothes are actually a pretty good, style, and I was wondering where you got them.
And they are laser focused on their plates after that.
Oh. Well, okay then. I'm just gonna take another, and I just pinch my nose and start kind of chugging this beer.
Okay. And Nug, what are you up to for how many beers you've had?
Oh, I think I'm on like the second last one. I'm just chugging through it.
All right.
Nice.
And how are you doing for the drink there, Sven? Just sipping on your wine, or are you?
Yeah,
drinking
just
heavily?
sipping on my wine.
Okay.
No, I'm just sipping on it.
Myrtle and Nug, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me?
First beer ever.
So she has
You're a
disadvantage.
tiny little gnome.
I am very tiny. Oh my god. Constitution save? 13.
13. Okay.
Oh, come on, damn. Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah. No, 13. You guys are you're feeling it, but you're still sober. But yeah, you definitely have actually a pretty pleasant, nice light buzz on. You're like right in that zone, which is hard to get.
I feel fuzzy. I feel fuzzy like my house coat. My brain is like a house coat.
And Nog just like rubs his house coat and nods, keeps drinking his beer.
Is this why people drink this stuff? Because it doesn't taste good at all.
Pretty much. It grows on you. It definitely grows on you.
But it's like my brain's a cloud. And everything
Yes.
sucks less.
That's usually how it goes, yes.
Yep.
Okay, and the night continues on. You do get some odd looks from time to time by other people that are in the room. It's not
Which,
very busy, but it's, when you've got that just that feeling that people are looking at you or talking about you, just that kind of uncomfortable feeling, you get that from time to time, even though there isn't anything directly
every time
being said or done.
Every time Myrtle notices that somebody's looking at them, it's always met with a "Hi there."
and almost universally they are mortified and immediately look away.
people are fucking rude here.
Oh my god.
There is one set of elves. There's three of them. They're all males. They're finely dressed as well. Not quite as fine as the rest of them. You get the impression that maybe they're like merchants or something like that, business people of some sort, and they don't really seem to be paying you much mind. One of them kind of like elbows his friend and kind of looks over and smiles, but they don't seem concerned or like upset that you're there like the rest of them. Just like, that's a strange group. That's funny to see. Oh well, and then on back to their meal.
Mercer, do you want to talk about what happened this afternoon?
I mean, I want to go find my mom.
I think I kind of do as well. She might know a little bit more about my father than I.
Yeah, you could find out
originally
what
known.
happened to your family and
Well, my
stuff.
mother is fine. She's back back on the island, back home. But yes, at least I guess I have a little bit of clarity on what happened to my father, but I don't really know what he was doing as an adventurer. He was just a merchant from my previous knowledge, so.
So
It
Graham
would
told
be nice
me.
to find her.
Graham told me that my grandma, that she wanted to pay us to find my mom, but I don't want to take any of her money. I don't want anything from her.
I think it would be smart for us to get paid for a job, especially from the government such as them. I
But
can
what if
understand
we
how you would
found?
not want to pay.
Well, I
I
mean,
can
like you
understand
guys
how
can
you-
take the money if you want. I just don't want it.
Okay, well, we can talk to the others about this, but I think it might be a good avenue to go down, as long as everybody else is on board.
I mean, I feel like everybody else will be on board if they're getting paid for it.
Yes, that's true.
Wait,
how
we're
are
all
you?
at that table, right?
Yeah.
Just 3 of us,
Alright.
The three of you are,
I'm,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board regardless of us getting paid. I'll help you find your mother.
Well, that's really nice of you. Thank you.
Then we can decide later if we're gonna take the payment or not, or even let them know if she's alive. We can. This has nothing to do with them, really.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd like to do that if that's okay with everybody. Otherwise, I could go by myself. It's no big deal. I don't mind, but I'd like it if I had some company.
Yes, I think that
Yeah.
would be one of the top things for us to do. But we do need to go over it with everybody else first, just to make sure they are also on the same page as us.
That's totally fair.
I would like to find out some more about these adventures and how my father fell in whatever battle was going down in Draconia. But anyway.
Can I try your wine?
Yes. Have a try.
I take my empty beer cup and I just pour a little bit into my beer cup. And I take a sip and I'm like, oh, God! What is wrong with, it's a little bit better, but ugh.
It's an acquired taste. But it is very nice.
What's the point of drinking something if you don't like the taste of it, right off the bat?
Nug just mutters sour grapes. Disgusting.
It tastes like somebody stomped on grapes with their feet, but their feet were super, super gross, and all the gross foot taste went into the grapes and just made them
Nug is nodding every single time. Just every word you're saying is big, over exaggerated nods. Completely in agreement. Wine's nasty.
That is actually how a lot of it is made. However,
what?
This is some of the finest wine that you can get in this country. So
it gets worse.
It's foot juice.
Yeah, it does get worse than this. This is actually pretty good.
I grew up in a party town, and I don't understand how these people do this to themselves every night. The fuzzy feeling is fun. I like the fuzzy feeling, but it's not worth it.
Well, sometimes it is. And with that, I will take my bottle of wine and my glass, and I'm going to go up to my room and retire for the night.
Okay. Is everyone else going up as well?
I'll go up, yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna finish the rest of my beers and go up.
I chug the rest of that wine that I poured into my cup, and I'm just gonna wave at those elves on the way by.
And these ones, mainly the one that had elbowed his friend, he actually does wave back and smile. He just kind of does that, puts his hand up, kind of wave, and says, "Hello there."
Hi, I'm
What?
Myrtle.
I'm Todrin.
Todrin. That's nice. What do you do, Todrin?
I sell textiles. What do you do, Myrtle?
Well, right now what I do is I wear this fuzzy house coat, and I go around and I drink things that taste terrible that make my head feel just as fuzzy as the house coat. Yeah, it's been a day.
It seems that way. Good day?
It's been an up and down kind of day, really.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah.
Don't there's a lot of stick in the muds around here. Don't let them get to you, Myrtle.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot of weird people here, and I don't know, I've never been around people like this, so I don't know if maybe their facial expressions are just like a regional thing. Maybe they're actually smiling in their own way, or.
He kind of leans forward a little bit and he says, "Can I tell you a secret, Myrtle?
You can tell me anything."
They're all assholes, Myrtle.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
You have a great night.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for being so nice. You're the first person that's really been nice to me so far. Have a good night. I'm going to bed.
And he like raises his glass in like a cheers to you and takes a drink.
I don't know what that means.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys head up. You're probably just getting out of the bath around this time, Elidyr. Would anyone like to do anything else before they go to sleep for the night?
I'm gonna eat my food.
Okay. Yeah. So you take a look. It's cold at this point, but it's chicken and rice and vegetables and.
I take it into bed with me and I like wrap myself in a blanket and have it like in a tent blanket in the bed where I'm like slowly being eaten by the bed but also eating the food.
Perfect. And there was a small bottle of wine, a small bottle of ale, and a medium-sized bottle of water with that as well.
I mix them all together and drink them all together.
Oh God.
I mean, if it's gonna taste bad, you might as well just like make all the bad tastes go together and just get it all down in one drink.
I feel like another disadvantage roll is happening.
Make another Constitution saving throw, just a regular one.
A natural 20.
Natural 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, crit.
Yeah.
So that's 20.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't taste the greatest, but you like the fuzzy feeling.
My head may be small and my head may feel fuzzy, but I can hold my booze.
It's and probably because you don't like the taste of it, it's taking you a little bit longer to drink, and it's just keeping you right at that perfect buzz point all night long.
It's like a full-on hold the nose and take a sip every time.
Yeah. Perfect. Anyone else doing anything before they go to sleep for the night?
I'm gonna just make sure that the door stuff that the traps that I had on them are all secure.
Yep, everything looks the same as how you left it.
Great. What's Elidyr doing?
If you
just
come and
turned
check
into
on
a
me,
giant prune.
I imagine if you check on me, I'm just like super pruny and like all of my clothes are wet. I'm probably sitting with
along.
I'm probably sitting with like out like on the ledge of like. Is there like a big window in the room? I'll probably just sit on the ledge of it.
In your bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are French doors that open up to a small balcony that looks out over a nice garden.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm probably just sitting on like the balcony edge and just sort of looking at the gardens and whatnot.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's a clear night. There's some clouds off in the distance, but the moon is overhead. At this point, it's getting close to midnight at this point. And yeah, there's some clouds off in the distance, but it's otherwise a clear night. Okay, nothing else from anyone. Zilch,
No.
Zilch, were you doing some research?
Yeah, with DM approval, I found a guidebook labeled "Treacherous Shortcuts in the Dungalium Empire, Perilous Paths." I will take that to my study, some nighttime reading, and await the morning.
Yeah.
When morning comes, I will go and meet up with the folks.
Okay, so Zilch, you've got a lot on your mind, and you kind of look through the library and select this book. Go up to your the small room that's been provided to you that you've lived in for pretty much your entire time as a monk with the Cobalt Soul, and read the book, and just got some stuff on your mind from the day, but you keep reading the book, and eventually decide it's time to turn in and go to sleep. Toss and turn, and you're having some trouble actually falling asleep, and I'm gonna get you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh shit, son. Alright. Wisdom saving throw. Here it is. shows up. Here we go. On. Ooh.
19.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Hope
So, sleep doesn't come easy to you, but eventually it does. And eventually you drift off. And then you kind of your eyes open and it's dark. Dark but warm. Your eyes are blurred and they slowly come into focus. And in front of you, you see an older woman with long, wavy, silver hair. Her skin's weathered and it's wrinkled around her almond-shaped eyes. She has purple irises. She wears blue and white robes. They tumble out from her like pieces of parchment. You recognize this to be Ayun, the Knowing Mistress. In the center of her body, there's a large gash. But instead of it being visceral and bloody, it's complete blackness, the blackest black you've ever seen. You can't move forward. She's not moving forward, but slowly her form starts to grow and come forward. It's almost like you are entering this blackness in the center of her. And then everything is complete black. Until you start to see little dots of light in all directions. They look like stars. And then one of these dots of light starts to get larger and larger and larger. You see in front of you coming all of a sudden very, very, very fast a planet. It's like you are falling at thousands of miles an hour towards this planet. Rushing. It seems like any second now you're going to hit the ground, and then all of a sudden, right as you're about to hit the ground, everything stops and it's almost like it's in slow motion. You see an island. Water in all directions. You slowly start to drift towards this island, towards the ground, and then you go through the ground. You see black again. And eventually you come out into an open cave. And you see before you a sort of pyramid with stairs going up all four sides. This must be 50, 100 feet tall, but it's all underground in a large cave. And all around, you see lizard folk with shovels like drones moving up and down the stairs with barrels of dirt that they've been excavating, by the looks of things, from a hole in the top of this structure. Make a perception check.
Rip.
Just as you start to drift closer and closer, all of a sudden, you blink your eyes, and suddenly you're flying backwards faster and faster than you were falling in the first place. Everything is moving at light speed. You see streaks of lines in the sky, and then suddenly you wake up in a cold sweat in the darkness of your bed.
I'll take a look around for the knowing mistress.
Make a perception check. 13. You feel a warmth in the room, but everything looks the same as you left it when you went to bed.
I'll feel around for my cigarettes, and I'll light one up, and I'll kind of just sit there and just trying to for the messaging of dream, and I'll have that. Just think deeply at the end of my cigarette, and I'll do my best to try and fall asleep again after that. It's been
Okay, so you smoke one of your cigarettes and give the dream some thought and go back to bed, and eventually sleep comes to you.
Well, all right.
Elidyr, where are you sleeping?
Oh, I'm sleeping in the chaise longue, the little chair that you described.
Okay.
And I've got the back up against the wall so I can look at the bed.
Okay. Is the French doors out to the garden, are they open or closed?
Oh, I probably left them open.
Okay.
Actually, how warm is it? Is it like a warm night? Is it summertime?
It's spring, so it's cool. It's not cold, but it's cool.
Alright. I've been outside a lot, so I'll probably keep them open. Why not?
Okay. In your trance, you can see the moon through the open window. And it just gives you a good feeling. You feel like the Moon Weaver is with you tonight. But
Did someone just sing Dreamweaver?
Yeah, that song just popped into my head.
As strange and stressful as the day has been, with the large full moon outside, nearly full moon, it gives you peace. You feel like the Moonweaver is there with you tonight.
Yeah, I'm imagining I'm probably using the super bright coat as like a blanket.
Yeah. Okay. And so for you, as rough as the day has been, and as much as is running through your mind, you're very calm and very relaxed. You get a very full, restful night's trance rather than sleep for you.
Yeah.
And so you guys all get long rests, and you all level up to level 4.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So I thought
You
it
know,
would be
Greg was
fun
like 8
to-
seconds away from asking, "Did we level up?"
It was happening.
I thought it would be. Okay, well then the morning comes to you all. The sun shines through your individual your big windows facing out onto the city, and the morning is yours. When you all get up, if you look outside your rooms, anyone that left their clothes to be cleaned, they're neatly folded and cleaned and smell just a little bit of lavender. They're pristine.
You can just
and
hear
they're-
through the closed door, just help! Somebody help me! I made a mistake.
Nug likes lavender.
What is this? Why is this so aggressive?
This is Skyrim, bro.
Jesus. I am just a few seconds behind here, catching up to everybody. Shit. Wait there, I will come.
Can anybody hear me?
You guys hear something?
I'll go in and try to open up the door and see if I can go get her out of the bed that she's trapped in again.
All you can see is just a hand.
Myrtle, did you lock your door last night?
Probably. I can't see why I wouldn't.
Mistakes were made.
I made a mistake.
So when you get there, the door is locked. You hear Myrtle trapped in her bed sheets.
Damn, we need a rogue, guys.
There's so much food in here.
I wish we had a rogue.
Our rogue's been waylaid by a bed.
Can I attempt to pick the lock?
Do you have thieves' tools?
I don't think so. I do not.
I can pick the lock with my shoulder. I'll just like run up and try and like smash it with my shoulder.
I have my key if you want to come and grab it from me.
Okay, Nug, if you're going to try to smash it open, make a strength check.
Oh, that's
crap.
terrible idea.
I know, it's so bad. Instant regret. Wait, where?
We're going to get kicked out of this hotel so fast.
I know, right?
I can feel the rice in
An
my
18,
underwear.
yeah. So you give it a firm shoulder, you know right where to hit it, right where the lock is, and it smashes open. It does some damage to the lock and the handle. The door itself is still in fine shape, but it does kind of shatter
Don't worry, I
the.
can
As they do it, I cough super loud as they do it. And muffle the sound. Oh shit.
So as you do this,
Do you need to stealth check?
I made a
I'm a
perception check,
disadvantage.
and somebody comes running up. It's another dwarven teenager. It's a different kid, and comes running up and he's, what's happening?
Help!
What are you guys doing?
Why are you guys just standing around
We-
here? The bed's
there-
eating me.
Our friend is trapped in the bed.
Would I have heard this from like? Am I nearby? In the
Make a
room?
I mean, you're in a room across the hall. Make a perception check, but
Okay.
yeah, you heard it.
Right. I imagine like I sort of snap up and I like kick my door down, and I'm just gonna like attack the door to try and get in the room.
Okay. So you scramble in there, and you
door's
see
open.
you
Oh my
scramble into the room, and you see Nug there, and Grimdor's in there trying to help Myrtle up out of the bed. The dwarven teenager comes over, and he kind of looks at the door frame, and he goes, "McGrim is going to be pissed." And he just walks back down the stairs.
I leap on the bed and start like trying to like pull the covers off, like just rip them off the bed.
While Elidyr does that, I'm gonna grab Myrtle's hand and just pull her out.
Oh yeah, and it's not like it's not hard to get her out. She's just like mostly tangled. She isn't even hardly buried really at all. I'm guessing that she's a mobile sleeper and has gotten herself tangled. And
I fell asleep in my food.
yeah, and there's chicken bones all through there, grains of rice all strewn through the blanket. Yeah.
It's in my underwear.
Smushed broccoli.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could I have saved some water in my room, go back get it, and bring it and to give it to Myrtle because she probably.
Oh yeah, water's easily gotten. It's because there's the washroom at the end of the hall, right? With endless magical water. So that's easy to get.
I'm gonna hand her some water, not say anything, go back to my room, and pack up.
Okay.
I'm imagining I'm like struggling with the bed covers, and I'm just shouting like, "Myrtle, I'll save you! Get away! Get away from the bed!"
This is the most active I've ever seen you, Elidyr. I'm okay. I'm under the bed. I'm gonna offer my hands so that Elidyr doesn't get stuck either.
Yeah, I sort of like.
Just don't pull me back in.
And so you guys eventually wrestle Myrtle out, and yeah, you're able to go on about your business and get dressed if you'd like. And
I would also like to. I'm assuming I heard the door breaking.
Oh sure, yeah.
I'm gonna take out my little needle and bend the door.
Okay.
I feel bad about that whole situation. I really didn't think that through at all, guys.
Yeah, and that's easily mended. It wasn't very well damaged. Nug knows how to hit a door to break it open efficiently, and it was really just the
breaking
lock
things
system.
with care.
Yeah, exactly. That seems like the type of thing that Nug would do is break something with care.
Breaking is caring.
Yeah. So
Hashtag.
the morning is yours.
I'm gonna call everybody in. Everyone, to my room, please, if you're there.
And
I mean, yes, we are all on the same floor, I believe.
while this
Where
is all
that
happening,
voice coming from?
This is God.
This is God speaking. Come to the waiting room.
Zilch, were you coming over here or no?
Yes, yeah, I will wake up and breakfast and make my way over at the appropriate time.
So you walk into to Cameruth Cottage. You have no trouble getting into the Shimmer Ward with your Cobalt Soul uniform on.
That's right.
And so you walk in, and as soon as you walk in, you see this dwarven teenage boy coming down the stairs, just kind of laughing and shaking his head. And, you just see him walk around and just walk off to the other room. And there's a very old dwarven woman at the desk. She says, "Hello there. Can I help you?"
Yes. There's a group of adventurers that the evening here. I assume they're upstairs causing a ruckus.
Well, I didn't hear any ruckus, but they're upstairs. I haven't seen them down here for breakfast. Charlie, have you seen those people that the king sent over? Charlie says, you hear a voice from the other room say, "No, Grandma." "Yes, I think they're still up in their rooms. We have are you with the group as well? Are you the one that didn't come last night?
Indeed. Much obliged.
She says, "Here's your key," and puts it on the. Charlie, come show this man to his room. I'm busy, Grandma.
Madam, it's quite fine. I appreciate the hospitality, but I will make my way up myself.
Okay, breakfast is served, so tell your friends to come on down and have some breakfast.
Excellent. You and I both know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
And he lights up a cigarette.
Yeah, she smiles and says, "Why, yes, it is, young man. You're such a nice boy."
I love her so much.
Excellent. And I'll kind of just do the whole head nodding and politeness my way up this.
Okay. You go on up the stairs right as everyone's kind of heading into Grimdor's room, right? That was, you were calling people into your room?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see them all kind of going into there, and you're able to follow in?
I know that I am new to the group, but I want to thank you for trusting me. We do have the small business of divvying up the score or reward from this quest.
Oh yeah, I forgot we had money.
Shall we count it now? And
Sure, why not?
I'm gonna look at Nug, like, because he was the one who was like, "Don't touch it."
I just shrug. Sure.
Okay. And then with that, I guess I will count it. And then, oh, zilch, good timing. It is time for our reward, and I'll count it out, I guess.
Yeah, so you count it out. You pour this out onto the desk in your room, and you count out. There is 216 platinum pieces there.
Ooh, holy shit balls!
What the?
And there are how many of us?
There are 6.
6. Okay, so that's 36.
I believe that works out the equivalent of 360 gold each.
Okay, I have it as 36 platinum pieces each.
That's the same thing.
That's
Okay.
the same thing.
Cool.
Beauty. So I guess everybody's divvying that up equally. Yes.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just adding it as 36 platinum pieces.
Oh my god, I'm
That's
rich.
what I did too.
Oh yeah, I forgot D&D Beyond adds it all up anyway, so that's beauty.
Yeah.
Whoops.
With the power of D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond,
you
guys.
D&D Beyond, guys.
Oh god, that's gonna be a meme
Sponsor us.
forever.
Well, thank you for allowing me to venture with you. Where do we go from here?
I want to find my mom.
You do. Last night you weren't sure that was.
Well, no, I always wanted to find her. I just don't really want to have anything to do with the lady that, like, erased my memories.
To be fair, she
Yeah,
did
it's kind of
only
messed up.
She did only ask to know that she is alive and taken care of. That is it.
I mean, like, you guys can do what you want to do. If you want to, like, help me find my mom, that's great. And if you guys can get some payment out of it, that's also great. I'm just not gonna take any of it. I don't have any interest in getting anything from her.
Oh, I'll help you find your mum. I thought the lady was really mean. So
She wasn't great. I wasn't a fan. I always thought, you know, like, one day if I just, like, happened to meet my grandma one day, I'd be like, "Oh my god, grandma, let's hang out and, you know, hold hands and run through flower fields together." And I've got none of those feelings right now.
I believe that, given the circumstances, she tried her best. I know that it's not easy to see that now, but I was a little upset yesterday, but I think that she genuinely was trying to do right by everybody in the situation. So
She erased
try not to be
all of
as-
my memories.
okay, that was not very nice, but then again, like, I cast spells on people, so I can't really say much.
You have to
And
look
you
at her
shouldn't
intentions too. Her intentions were to protect you, so it's not like she was doing it for a bad reason, at least.
Exactly.
Maybe
When
she
I
has
cast
some
Charm
redeeming
Person on
qualities.
somebody-
She had no right.
She definitely did not have any right.
She shouldn't be doing such nasty things just because she thinks it's going to help someone in the long run.
I agree.
Sometimes
way,
we
it
have to
doesn't
do
matter.
things
I
we don't
don't-
like in
I
order to
don't
protect
care.
people.
I just want to find my mom because now I know she exists and she wants to find me, and I really just want to find her.
Yeah, we'll find her.
Do you
That
know
is,
where she might be?
We can always go back and talk to the woman again and see
I don't
if she
remember.
has
Did
any
I get
last known
told?
whereabouts.
She did. She did tell me.
Oh, right, because you stuck around.
Yeah. I don't remember
So,
what she told
She
me.
didn't give you specifics. She said
She said with
that
the lizard folk on the coast or something.
yeah, there was an island off of the Menagerie coast in the sea between Wildemount and Teldore, where there were lizard folk, and she was working with them there, studying them. But she didn't give you specifics on which island or how to find it.
Do one of the characters say that? Talk about this?
Yeah, I
lizard
was just gonna
folk?
say I'd relay that they were with some lizard folk out of blah 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 blah.
I'll,
blah. What he just said.
kind of pause for a moment. I'll say, I think that's our best course of action to go. If you know much more about this island speak of, can you tell me about it?
I know all that I've said. This.
All right.
That was literally verbatim.
ELDR. So Menagerie Coast.
Yeah.
Blizzard.
Menage!
Menagerie Coast.
Taldore.
Yes.
How do you spell Taldore?
Taldore is TALD'Orei. It's in the sea in between. It's a very large sea in between these two continents. Imagine it as like North America and Europe, right? There's a large sea in between, and it's on an island that's much closer to the Menagerie Coast, but it is in between.
Ah, yes, across the pond, mate.
Oh my god, who was that?
Who the hell would never cross that pond, eh?
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Wait, is that your
no.
Canadian accent?
No, that's my English accent.
Oh, okay,
It's
just
more English. My more
It's
English
English.
accent.
How did you sound?
Fuck.
So does this island mean anything to you?
Were you asking me?
I was asking Myrtle.
Yeah. Okay.
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
Is this?
I mean, like, so quick update. My grandmother apparently took 10-year-old me and erased all my memories and then gave me to people. So I don't really know what's going on. I just found out that my mom's alive and that she's around, and I just want to go find her. But like, I really there's a lizard people island, I guess, and
Well, who is going
Right,
to? So I guess we're
Myrtle.
going to go do this. Yes.
What I mean is, what does this island specifically mean to you, or do you know anything about this island with the lizard folk?
I have no idea. This is the first I've heard of it.
Does anyone else know?
Nope.
I didn't even know
Like-
lizard folk people were a
Would
thing.
from my travels, DM, would I know anything about an island that they were speaking of?
Make a history check.
I don't even think I've ever seen the ocean. Honestly.
20.
Yeah, 20. So you know of there are a great number of smaller islands, medium-sized islands all over. You've probably stopped at a number of them on your travels. You know that some of them are home to more tribal species like lizard folk, like 1T, you don't know of any specific ones. These are very private people that are usually on very isolated islands, but there are a number of them through that sea where you might find them.
Okay, I'll relay that. Before we set off or go to talk to that woman again, this is an interesting question, but I think it might help us or me out in the long run. Zilch, do you know, since you are from Exandria, is there a... I know back in my homeland, there would be places called zoos that you could see different animals from all across the areas and observe them. Is that something that might be here in Exandria that I might be able to go and check out? I always like looking at the animals from this area, or if any exotic ones that they might have.
My memory, I believe, we over towards the market area. May perhaps be some exotic animals for sale, if that's what you mean.
So yes, there would be that, and you would also know that there is a place kind of in between the Tangles and the Mosaic Ward that does have it is a zoo of sorts, kind of in the southwestern part of the city, where you could go in and take a look at animals from a lot of different places. If you're looking at the map there, it's in this section right here. There's a bit of an open spot there, and yeah, that is a large park where they do have some animals there.
There's also this thing zoo area between the Tangles and Mosaic Ward. I suppose if you would like to check it out.
Well, yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And there would be like pet shops with like more exotic animals there as well.
Different pet shops, you say?
Oh God!
Oh no!
Kill me!
What have you done?
Help me!
Oh man!
I can't breathe.
One DM advice, Kris, to another when it comes to Kaya.
To be fair, actually, that was one
Very
character.
careful.
None of my other characters have actually wanted pets.
Very, very careful.
You just got stuck with Grania.
Next thing you know, you're looking up stats of fucking squirrels and.
Okay, I looked up the stats for the squirrel.
Yeah.
You're the one who gave me the squirrel.
Like, or fucking what was that?
She was a
possum.
Yeah.
His name was
Like-
Flytrap because he was too lazy, so he'd just like sit and have his mouth open and let bugs crawl into it to eat.
Just be very, very careful what you offer.
She was a witch. Having familiars was a normal thing.
This is a big city. These things exist. So if you want to find them, they're there.
For the love of God,
I don't have to love it,
somebody
but
kill
it
me.
exists.
For the
Somebody
love,
help me!
for the love of God.
And I might as well point out, for the sake of, if you look, I have changed it over to the Rexentrim map. This is where the Camaruth Cottage is, right here.
Okay.
Cool.
So before we head out, I would really like to go see this the zoo area. Even
I'd
if
be
you
up
guys
for
want to
seeing
go
a zoo.
Okay.
Could we also maybe check out the marketplace too? Because I want to get some of these like so-called normal clothes that everybody keeps talking about that I apparently don't have.
We could
I need
probably
to
do that. I think you'd... Go ahead.
Oh, I need to pick up a couple of things as well from.
I think
the marketplace.
being in a very large city like this, it would be very smart to take a look around at some of the shops and see what we can buy.
I also need to go to a clothing store of some sort. I'm gonna need a new tunic for over my armor.
Makeover.
And You will also remember, Nug, that in the morning here you were supposed to go and meet with Marshal Ishmara.
I too would like to find some clothing, some armor.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to talk to all of the animals at the zoo.
Yes.
Well, why don't we go to Nug's meeting with the marshal, since he is supposed to be over there in the morning, and then
in the meantime, do you guys want to plan a breakout for all of the zoo animals?
Oh Lord.
I do not. No. Please no.
So Nug, you then go over to the King's Bastion, if that's what you want to do. If you do want to go and have your meeting, so you go over to the King's Bastion, and back to the same building. You tell one of the soldiers there that you're there to speak with the marshal, that she's expecting you, and he asks you to just wait for a minute, and you're just waiting just for 5 or 10 minutes, and he comes back and he says, yes, the marshal's expecting you. Come on back. He leads you through to an office and opens the door for you and lets you in and closes the door behind you. He stays out. And you go in, and the marshal is there sitting at a desk. And sitting at another chair, speaking to her when the door is opened, is Oliver Schreiber. He's in the room as well. When they see you, they stand up and
actually, hold on.
Go ahead.
Can I do something before I actually go in there?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. I want to use my channel divinity. Where do I mark it off? There we go. And so I have a thing called emissary. Here, let me paste it in. I have this little Jimmy Jam right here. Emissary of Peace. As a bonus action, I can grant myself +5 bonus to Charisma Persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes.
Perfect. Yep.
Nice.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to do that just before I go in. And then, continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, that's great. So you go in, and they turn around and see you, and they both stand up, and the marshal says, Mr. Nug, thank you for coming. Please sit down. And she puts her hand out to a chair that's in front of her desk.
All right, thank you, and I sit down.
So I have Mr. Schreiber here today. There's something we wanted to discuss with you. Yesterday, during our meeting, I told you that if I was your commander, you would not be my first choice for this mission. And this was a lie. You were explicitly selected by me to carry out this mission and to come see us here in Exandria. Mr. Schreiber?
My eyes kind of narrow too, not like aggressively or anything. I just kind of like my eyes just narrow at kind of in surprise and like curiosity.
Okay.
Still smiling and the normal nugness, but
nugness, love it. Oliver Schreiber looks at you and he says, "I'm known in the city as the king's right-hand man. I'm the retainer to the king. I've been with him for years. But the truth is that I am
spy master.
Someone else. There is an organization within the Empire that some people have heard of, some have not, and we keep things safe. We investigate. I think you might have an idea of what I'm talking about.
I just nod.
So, as the head of the Ogden Trust, the king is very worried. There is distrust between the king and some of the members of his council. We are looking for someone that we can trust. Someone with morals and values and good judgment that the king does not need to worry about. I apologize for what we put you through during the debriefing yesterday. We asked Master Tversky to join so that she could give her honest assessment of your character. We believe that, frankly, you are a good person, Doug, and that you have the best interests of the people and the Empire in your heart. We would like to offer you a position with the Ogden Trust. You are free to be your own man, to go about your business in this world, but act as our eyes and ears for anything that may be a threat to the king or a threat to the Empire. Someone, frankly, of your race may be able to blend in places where our enemies frequent. We think that you have a better chance of retrieving information that will end this war with the least number of people being hurt, particularly King Dwindle. Your thoughts?
Oh, so like, Nug basically is just looking quite pensively at them with, his hand on his chin, just kind of mulling over that.
Yep.
To be completely honest, I was coming here to offer my resignation, the end of my conscription, perhaps. That was my goal, but this, not due to anything to do with the king. Nothing of that sort. Just as a soldier, I'm beyond this at this point. I am done with it, essentially, and this intrigues me.
And the marshal speaks up and says, we would, of course, be offering cover for your absence from the Regisbrand. I deliberately played up your the black marks on the red marks on your service record to give us an excuse for why you have been discharged. Of course, I greatly value your service, but we need to show reason. This gives you the opportunity to live your life as a member of the general public, but also someone still doing good for the Empire. Of course, This position would mean that resources would be made available to you. Any basic equipment that you need, we can provide, of course. A new set of armor, not your righteous brand attire. Whatever you prefer. Any standard armor would be provided to you, of course. And Mr. Schreiber here, he's a very talented man. In a very short time, he could teach you some skills that could be useful on your journey.
Skills, you say? What? Well, honestly, I'm interested regardless of what the skills are. My purpose is to go out and learn at this point. That is what I'm trying to do, and I'm loyal to the king, and the king is a great man. I don't like this war in the least. It's not good for anyone. But I would like to find some information for you. I'd like to see what I can do under the guise of just being Nug, I guess you could say.
And Schreiber smiles and yes, I think this could be a very fruitful arrangement. My time is quite valuable, but if you would like, we could spend the afternoon and you and I could work together to I could teach you one of the skills of my trade, which we can discuss. What you think would be of most value to you?
That sounds agreeable.
Okay. Very well. In that case, then come with me, and we'll get to work. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Nice.
What, already?